One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics, past or present. We'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane
with exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast,
the voice of your covered walkway streets. So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronc Village to the Field House,
we'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
So saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
Hey guys, we got a great episode this week.
We're warmed up, man.
We've already warmed up, but I cannot tell you how excited I am to actually hear this man's voice, because for so many years we only saw his mannerisms and his actions, but today we really get to talk to the man behind
himself.
Behind in the costume. We got Bucky the Bronc himself from 99 to 2000, Albert Jackson Munoz. Welcome to the show, Albert. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you, Matt. Mr. Gonzalo, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Man, so much that we want to talk about.
Yes.
To catch up, take us down memory lane.
Yeah.
Bucky the Bronc, man.
The first question I want to know is, did you get to keep the uniform?
I did not. I tried keeping it for every organization that I represented. I was mascot for PSJA Bears 2 years, technically 2 years for Pan Am, 99, 2000, and then 2 years for the Edinburgh Roadrunners. So I tried, but
that's right. Yeah.
You know, I'll keep a program or something that has my likeness to it for posterity. But I'm not photogenic. So it's okay.
Well, that's okay. Me and G have faces for radio, so it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. No, definitely not faces for YouTube. But we're dealing with it. Our audience deals with it too.
Yes, sir.
Albert, I want to start off with, you're from the Valley, correct? You're from the Rio Grande Valley. Where'd you grow up, man? I know the Bucky the Bronc is a legend. You were Bucky the Bronc back then. How did Bucky the Bronc come to be?
Yes.
Okay. Well, around the age of 4 or 5, I got bit by the bug that gives you an adrenaline rush to be in front of an audience. And I gravitated towards rock and roll and stand-up comedy. I was a class clown forever through school. And a couple of cheerleaders in high school said, dude, you're effing crazy. We want you to be our mascot. Iris Guajardo and Bonnie Garza. Maybe y'all remember Iris Guajardo. She's from the PSJA area. And so I showed up. I got the gig just like I did with Miss Georgia Kovich. The mascot tryouts. I showed up, and I want to elaborate on that. But so I've always done the business and theater thing. I worked for about 3 years before I started college. And so when I went to college, Pan Am, in the fall of 96, I already had a business mind about networking and meeting people, because I worked for the post office, I worked for Cinemark and a local General Motors dealership. So it was all about networking and stuff. This was right before the internet and networking actually started. So we were doing that. And I had always had aspirations to go back to be mascot. And I swear on my dad's grave in the Bible, I'm not making this up. The guy that ran from Amarillo to McAllen recently, that came out on the news, that he ran with the mayor, were raising money for heroes of families of the heroes that were fallen. That guy has been my friend since first grade. Ben Garcia from San Antonio Police Department. He graduated from Pan Am in 2000, PSJA Bears in 94. Long story short, I was praying. I said, God, let me get back in front of that audience. Let me do that again, or take that feeling from my heart, because I cannot sleep at night. I want to get back on stage and I want to hear the audience roar. The next day at 11 o'clock, I opened the door. I goes, hey, dude, mascot tryouts at Pan Am tomorrow, dude. You can do it. Fucker, do it. So he takes me to that guy, Mike or Mark, and Mark took me to Georgia Kovich, and Georgia Kovich says, you got it. And you know what's crazy? Georgia Kovich is from Canada. I showed up dressed up like Bret Hart, the long hair with the great t-shirt, the leather jacket, and the glasses.
Oh, my
Bret
God.
Hart, dude. Wow. The Attitude Era. The Attitude Era, baby. Wow.
That's how I became Bucky the Bronc. And it was
That's
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
It was
Yeah, no,
awesome.
you were fantastic. You were. I mean, obviously there was people before you, but I vividly remember how you just got involved and how you engaged with the crowd, and it was really cool to see. And you were one of the ones that really stood out. And you and I have been friends ever since, right? And so
Yeah, and I
you're
remember
telling me stories off air that I wasn't even that you reminded me of about like orientation. I had no idea.
Oh, please tell the audience. Please tell the audience
please
about
share
that
on
interaction.
air. Like,
Well, I'll start off telling my story. I was like Bill Clinton in high school. I didn't want to leave because I was the mascot. You know, I knew the school board members, I knew the administration, I knew the police chief for Pharr, San Juan, and Alamo. That was my network. I had teachers covering up for me that weren't even my teachers, like, oh, Albert, the bear mascot, go back to class. I could have been cut in class, you know, whatever. Yeah. I thought I was David Lee Roth and Van Halen, which the music I used to use when I was Bucky the Bronc, you know, so I had that clout. And I wasn't bragging about it or anything like that. I wish I had that brand recognition or marketability so I could tell more people about what I do in my profession as a financial advisor. So when I graduated from high school, I said, I got to get this wildness out of it. Because y'all thought I was wild in college. I was wilder before. I would technically sleep about 3-4 hours a day. I just had so much energy. So long story short, my mom said, you get your stuff together, you go to the military, or you go to school. And I said, school it is, because the Marines didn't want me, because I didn't pass the physical because I had asthma. So I tried to become a Marine. And ironically, what people don't tell you about having asthma is that the more you exercise, the stronger your lungs get. So asthma became a strength, not a weakness. So I learned to breathe heavy in that heavy thing that you're breathing the same air over and over.
Yeah.
I would lose about 10 pounds of water weight every night. The real interesting games were the double headers or the triple headers, because we had baseball too. You know, and women's basketball, then haul ass across the field and do baseball. And man, I wanted to give that performance like Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan, Van Halen, and David Lee Roth were. You see them afterwards and they're just drained. If I was not drained, it was not good enough. Win, lose, or draw. I wanted to give my very best to the audience, because I had to, in a way, even though we're on the same team, I had to compete with guys like Matt, you know, because Matt goes out there and the audience goes nuts. I have to listen to the audience and gauge what I have to do in an improvisational manner. You cannot improvise what's going on with Matt and the team, but you can pick your spots where to work the crowd to keep that energy level up. So that's
it's a performance art. It's so
there's an art to it. I don't think
Charlie
people think of it like that.
Say, I want to see what you choreographed. I said, Charlie, I improvise, dude. Just play my music and I'll effing go. And we did that. I came out with an American flag to Molly Cruz Kickstart My Heart. People went nuts. And Charlie's like, no, we can't do that. People are going to get offended. And I'm like, who?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he was like, one person complaining is all we need. And there was this lady that was a professor that had tenure, always wore cowboy boots and jeans. She had her own ranch, and she'd come and she sat in the very special VIP section. She complained to Mr. Uchek, a man he worked with Dorjakovic. I was trying to get to one side of the arena to the other without being mugged by the children. So I would have to hide the little balls and the T-shirts and things that I could just throw to the fans. Well, I put two underneath my jersey because I don't know where else to put them. I had a handful here. So it looked like I had breast, and that pissed that lady off. Matt Uchek came and told me, you can't do that. I said, Matt, I'm sorry, not Matt, Mr. Uchek. Chris Uchek, I think it was.
It was Chris, yes.
And I said, I didn't do that to offend anybody. I only have two goddamn hands. I'm wearing mittens, so everything slips. I can't even hold up a poster. And when I do, it's upside down because I can't see it, because there's a thing about this big that has a screen. It's like a window screen. You can see out but not in, but they reversed it. So I had trouble seeing out. Plus, whoever designed the suit never wore it. It was horrible. I had to work with McAllen Sports to modify it because I'm 6'2", and the suit was for somebody that was 5'8", and it didn't have a chin strap. So I'd be running, it'd be bouncing, and you can't
I remember
see.
that. Yeah.
Long story short, so I pissed off that lady, and I had to go apologize. I said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry," but this is what she told me. She says, "You move your hips too much." I said, "Ma'am, with all due respect, that's what they told Elvis Presley 40 years ago." You know, I would have said David Lee Roth, but I didn't want to piss her off. And so she complained, and unbeknownst to me, behind her was my cousin. She got her doctorate there at UTPA, Sylvia Hatton. Okay, so she was there, and she says, "Oh, don't worry about her. I have coffee and tacos with her every morning. I'll talk her off the edge. You just keep on doing Bucky the Bronc." So that's what we did, man. And so when I got to college, I was a 21-year-old entering freshman. And so I had already burned off 3 years of that crazy energy. If it was up to me, I'd still be Bucky the Bronc.
I think you are. I think you are.
You're still, yeah. You know what? I was Bucky the Bronc the very last year that they became UTRGV Vaqueros, because they needed somebody to go to the Child Development Center with Santa Claus. That was the last time I was Bucky the Bronc, about 10, 12 years ago.
Wow.
And I
pulled you out of retirement.
Yeah. Wow. And we did it. So that was the last time. And I got closure. I cried of joy because it's like, man, if one person remembered me or one person enjoyed it, that's all. That's all.
Who has it? Who has it now, Albert? Who has the?
I really don't know. But the Child Development Center out there at UTRGV was borrowing it from them, from the athletic department. So I don't know who has it now, but it was not the same one that I wore. This one was even smaller, you know. I would do like a toe touch jump, like David Lee Roth off the drum set. And the sleeves on the legs would go right below my knees. So it was pretty short, man.
We need to find it. Whatever it takes, we need to find it, and we need to do a retro, like when we do our Bronc reunion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reunite with that uniform.
Would it be possible, Albert, or is that
I think so, because I still have some of my jerseys. You know, the jerseys that Georgia gave me to put on top of the outfit, because people were complaining, Bucky the Bronc is naked. He needs clothes.
Winnie the Pooh is naked, man.
Yeah, so we had basketball shorts underneath and the baseball jersey on top. So I'd always wear something. And I was number 33, like Larry Bird, Celtics. And then when we were orange and white, I think I was number 23. They wouldn't give me Matt's number or anybody. They just gave me whatever was there. And that's what I used. So I do have the green and white in storage. My mom put it away somewhere. And I think I have one jersey at my house because I moved into a new home, and I'm putting some Van Halen here, some PSJA Bears here, Bucky the Bronc here, and whatever jerseys and commemorative stuff I can get to put in that little hallway for the garage meets the master bedroom. So that's
let me ask you this. You know, it's kind of taboo for the mascot to kind of reveal who they are, right? Like the Coyote from the Spurs, or the Viper,
Ray Mysterio Jr.
Ray Mysterio Jr. You know, but like it's taboo. But you're a student, so you're Bucky the Bronc at night, and then you're a student by day. Did you ever let anybody know, like in your communications class or your business classes or whatever? Did you ever let them know, like, hey, I'm Bucky the Bronc? Like,
I didn't publicize it, but sometimes after theater practice or after a business presentation, I had to carry it with me so people would know. And Professor Wolfgang Hink in the marketing business department would say, if I was you, I'd tell everybody, guess what? I'm a horse, And that's what he wanted me to tell people. But things got around. You got that one, right? So thing got around, a couple of family members that were attending college, or Ben Garcia from the San Antonio Police Department, he was our alumni. So things got out without me telling them, but technically you're not supposed to tell anybody.
Yeah.
But in this case, people see you getting dressed up, they see you stretching out, because I would take it seriously. That was my sport. You know, I
that's
played a
true.
little bit of football and
You
baseball.
absolutely killed it. You
But-
absolutely killed it. Like,
Thank you, sir. That's like Babe Ruth telling Hulk Hogan wrestling is not fake, you know? Thank you. Thank you, man. And I have a story about the the San Antonio Spurs. We got into a fight. People thought it was a joke.
Yeah,
Widener,
wait a
the
second.
athletic
Yeah.
coordinator, he said, Bucky the Bronc. And he told me outside of the outfit, he says, right now, you're Bucky the Bronc. This is your house. You kick whoever ass comes in here. This is your house. I'm like, all right. So I went to meet the Coyote, and he's getting dressed up just like I am, knee pads and this and that, Bengay and icy patch things. And I told him, I said, hey, you know what? Nice to meet you, sir. My name is Albert Munoz. I'm Bucky the Bronc. And I told him, I've been sent here by my higher ups to make it look like we're going to win because we are the home team. I have to kick your ass. So how do you want to do this? Because, we're friends. We don't kick anybody's asses. No. But we'll do this. What game plan? Part A, Part B, Part C. So we go out there, and he changed it completely right in front of my eyes. And I said, you son of a gun. He did a contest. I had practiced the slam dunk, but without the helmet. And he had the little trampoline. So I was like, okay, I can do the slam dunk without the trampoline on the far end. But I need to have my spotter here because my spotter just holds out the ball and I run with it like a running back and then kaboom, because I cannot dribble with middies.
yeah.
So that's the thing. And they changed that shit on me last minute. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out. And Wider came up, says, what happened? Did he change the plan? Did he go rogue on you? I said, yes, sir, he did. Says, it's okay, Bucky. You do what you do the best you can, and we love you for it anyway. But that was my experience with the Spurs. So for the past 20 goddamn years, I have never rooted for the Spurs. You know? Dallas Mavericks, anybody else but the goddamn Spurs, you know? So
And now we know
take
why.
my sports rivalries very serious.
And now we know why. And for some reason, I hated the Spurs for a very long time, and that's probably because I felt that energy, that like Oh, man. Hey, Matt worked for the Spurs for a little bit, just to let you know. I don't want you to change your feelings about him.
That's probably the only time I liked them.
That's right, Albert. That's right.
Man, this is exactly why we wanted to have you on, Albert. Like,
so,
you're just a ball of energy.
And I got many stories. I get flashbacks, and people tell me, "Dude, remember when you did this and this and this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, bullshit. I don't." People coming up to me from the high school days. "Oh, this guy was a mascot," or "Rowdy the Roadrunner. You got me wet with a spray gun." You know, I still get stories when they find out that that's what I did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you're about to be exposed because you're on the Saddle Up podcast now. And
Thank
everyone's
you.
gonna know it was you. So.
God bless you for this, man. You got to keep on spirit alive, man. We were young at the greatest time to be alive, and we still are young.
Agreed.
You know?
You're right. That's
Agreed.
It's all about perception.
Best of times, man.
So let me ask you this before G gets into his questions. What are you doing now? Like, obviously, you still have an admiration and a love for being Bucky and theater and performance, but what are you doing now? Like, are you still in the Valley? Are you San Antonio? Where? Obviously not San Antonio because you're not a Spurs fan, right? But like, where? What are you doing now? Kind of give everybody an update of what Albert's doing.
Well, I was in the hospitality business for about 15 years. I couldn't go any higher aside from, VPO, Vice President of Operations. So it got to where I was working 7 days a week. I got sick. I got diagnosed with diabetes, type 2. So I said, you know what? I'm giving the best years of my corporate life to another company. Let's see what I can do for me. So I put my resume on monster.com. 3 days later, Mutual of Omaha picked me up. That was 10 years ago. 5 years ago, I became a broker because of COVID. I had to grow. Now I got to grow again, hence the office that I have in San Antonio. So I work with life insurance, health insurance, group, annuities, retirement, TRS people. I have a lot of people coming in from PSJA, McAllen, Sherryland, even Houston, that are former employees that have retired, that are getting ready to take their stuff to the next level. So if they have a 403B, a 457, whatever, we can help them extend, invest in their retirement. We help them get the best health plan. So we're not limited to just health insurance. We do a lot of retirement. And I've recently added to my portfolio home and auto. I have a couple of agents that do that.
Oh, yeah.
And brokers. So what I try to do is help people save money and help people earn money. That's
how
what.
how can they find you? Is there a website or a phone number? Like
yes, you know, let me get that, because we have, it's called Futurity First Insurance here in McAllen, Texas, FFIG. So they can find me at Albert Munoz at ffig.com or 946-5431. I always answer my phone. I'm 24/7. The only time I answer my phone is when I'm in the studio creating music for my current project. I'm in a rock band, and I'm doing some stuff there for El Cine del Sol Film Festival. And part of the reason that I'm doing that is that my mentor passed away. Yeah. And like I told you guys, when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I got bit by the audience bug, that adrenaline rush thing. The reason for that was that I heard Van Halen, the rock band. And that's the reason that I played guitar. That's the reason that I became self-employed, that I have my own logo, my own brand. And that's what I'm working on. So I've been doing that forever. The insurance industry, my source of income, allows me to invest in that. I have some colleagues and associates that are with the Cine del Sol Film Festival. And when Eddie Van Halen died in 2020, it was like losing my father all over again, because I lost my dad when I was 10. Part of the reason I sucked at sports. So yes, kids need their dads, you know. So the loss of Eddie Van Halen affected me greatly, and I decided, you know what, I've waited 4 years to pay homage. So I was going to do 2 instrumentals. That instrumental turned into 8 songs. Those 8 songs turned into a documentary. And that documentary was really supposed to be a mock documentary, part truth, part humor. And it's really who I am, how I got here, and why I'm here. And I'm paying tribute to Eddie Van Halen, which is one of the reasons that I'm here. I give all the credit to my creator. And like Eddie Van Halen said, it's not something through, it's not me, it's through me, something through me. You know,
that's awesome, man.
Where can they find this documentary? Is it out now, or is it coming?
We're working on it. We're on our 2nd month. We have till August of next year to finish it, and then we get it in there with the Cine del Sol Film Festival. Well, and I was thinking, aside from El Cine del Sol Film Festival, we can do the Rio Grande Film Festival and the Dallas Film Festival and whatever else comes up. You know,
we can do cans. Let's do it. Like, you know,
it's not necessarily about me making money. It's about getting the word out there.
It's about getting it out there.
For one person, one alumni, we've done it. We've made it.
Well, when the documentary comes out, you're coming back on the show to plug it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gee, we got a couple of minutes left. Let's hit him with some really different questions this time.
Oh, yeah, you know, well, Albert, I mean, you've already alluded to some of them, and we need to go back and hit those questions up. Like, for example, okay, why is Matty P your hero, man? That's crazy.
Because, you know, a lot of people don't know how to handle success, whether it's financial or fame. And this young man has handled both very well.
That's right.
I don't know too much about his upbringing, but I can tell you that his parents did a good job. Just the way he composed himself, he was very graceful. He didn't have that Dallas Cowboys mentality.
Oh, man, you're hitting some hearts right there, Albert.
Okay. And I love the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a historian. But look what happened this past Sunday. They were down, 26-30, and they were smiling like they won the game. No, you never stop fucking playing the game.
That's right. And he never did.
And Matt, this gentleman, win, lose, or draw, he was like a very kind-hearted Larry Bird. He just never stopped. He was always his best. He kept going, 3-pointers, layups, whatever, pass the ball. It was about making the team better.
Yeah.
It was never about him. And that's why I admire this young man, because he's younger than me. I saw him the first day that we were in orientation.
Yeah.
Such a kind-hearted, down-to-earth kid. And I say kid because he's younger than me. Nothing but respect.
Well,
when I saw this kid, I told my family, you got to see this Matt kid. He plays well. And he reminds me of our cousin Nick Jackson. So they saw him. They love him too. You know,
That's it. That
Yeah.
is it. His mom, Albert, his mom's gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt's mom. My gosh, she's our
Yeah.
biggest fan. She's gonna love you. She's probably gonna send
Thank
you a
you,
letter.
man.
She's gonna send you a letter. She probably
gonna
send you a letter. Yeah. She's
So,
gonna
Albert-
send you an email. That's
Well,
what she's
if I
gonna
could,
do.
thank you.
Yeah.
Albert, we have a playlist. All right, it's on Spotify. It's a Saddle Up
Okay.
Podcast official playlist. And I know you've
Soundtrack.
brought up Van Halen a lot, man. What song do you want us to add on there?
Every
On
guest gets
behalf
to
of you.
contribute 2 songs.
Okay, Van Halen, Unchained, and Van Halen Ain't Talking About Love.
Van
it,
Halen
man.
Unchained and Ain't Talking About Love. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yep.
I got 2 more questions, Albert.
Let's
If
do
not
it.
the Spurs, who?
Dallas
we rooting
Mavericks. That's where my old corporate office was when I worked in the hospitality industry, and I got to hang out with Jason Kidd at of all places,
yes.
BJ's Brew House out there on Beltline and Quorum. So yeah, Dallas.
Awesome. Okay. Hey, Dallas Mavs, we love that team. I mean, look, there are a lot of reasons
Yeah.
to love a lot of NBA teams, but the Mavericks, there's a lot to love there. Starting with Jason Kidd, because that's
Yeah.
from our era. That dude's the real deal.
He was
All
a
right,
class. I got to meet him and a few other fellows, but just like Matty, down to earth, class act, very humble, honest, kind-hearted individual.
Class act.
The only
Thank
thing
you.
worse than being arrogant is having false modesty. Okay.
You heard it first, exclusive right
Yeah,
here.
that was
all
an
right?
exclusive. Yeah.
Bucky the Bronc right there. We're gonna quote that.
Okay.
The last question, Albert, and this is very important to us. We like asking fun questions. I know we have a sponsor that sponsors us with a gift card. So when I get a chance, I'm going to reach out to you, and I'm going to give you some Wing Barn cards, and on behalf of the show and behalf of them, because we love our guests. Wing Barn loves their guests. We want to make sure that you get treated on us. But the last question that we have, all right, is in a cage match, whether it be wrestling's not fake now. I'm talking like for real cage match, okay? Bucky the Bronc versus the current Vaquero. Who wins
Who wins?
and why?
Brother, let me tell you something, man. Right? I'm old school, baby. Hulkamania, NWO,
Attitude era,
Bronc
man.
is the 3-time world champ. PSJA, UTPA, Edinburgh Roadrunners. Failure's not a freaking option. You bring it. Pay-per-view, you want numbers? You want Brock Lesnar numbers? Hey, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Gonzalo, Matty, people, make it happen. I'll come out of retirement, brother.
Let's go. Oh, let's go, Bucky. I'm in, man.
I'm going to ask him, hey, Vaquero, which one do you want first? You want Van or Halen, okay? So, that's how it
We
is.
should try and set that up before the football game, like at the tailgate.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be
I
spectacular.
don't see why
man.
not.
That
You
would
know?
be hilarious. That would be awesome.
Oh, Albert,
Oh,
one of
you
the
could
most
do that.
energetic,
We
passionate guests that we've had on Saddle Up, man.
Yes.
We want to thank you. We want to thank you for your presence, man. Thank you for taking the time to take us down memory lane and Matty and giving your flowers to Matty P, man, because we all know Matty P. What he brings to the table. Yeah, you can shake your head at me all you want, man, but hey, you're legendary status, just like Bucky the Bronc, man. You're legendary status. But Albert, thank you so much, man, for sharing those stories with us. It means a lot to us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you guys. Nothing but health and happiness. Reach out to me if you need anything. I don't charge for my consultations. I don't charge for anything. The insurance carriers pay me to administer the account. That's where I get my
Fantastic.
commissions. I don't
All right.
charge people for anything.
We're going to definitely send him your way. So,
Yeah, you're gonna get some
Albert
business out
Jackson
of this.
Munoz, you are a true friend of the show. You're welcome back at any time. Until then, V's up, guys. See you next week.
V's
Thank
up,
you,
brother.
brother.
Like we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean, like something happened.